Fact 50. Monaco is almost twice as small as Central Park. Monaco spans just 0.8 square miles, making it the world's second smallest country after Vatican City. New York's Central Park covers 1.3 square miles, meaning Central Park is about 1.6 times the size of Monaco. Despite its tiny size, Monaco packs in over 39,000 residents, creating the world's highest population density. It's a country smaller than most college campuses, yet functions as a fully independent nation. Fact 49. Bangladesh is more crowded than a subway car. Bangladesh crams 170 million people into an area the size of Iowa. The population density reaches 3,000 people per square mile in some regions. If the entire world had Bangladesh's population density, everyone on Earth would fit into Texas. It's a demographic intensity most Americans can't even imagine experiencing daily. Fact 48. Russia spans 11 time zones. Russia stretches so far east to west it covers 11 time zones from Kaliningrad to Kamchatka. When Russians in Vladivostok eat lunch, Moscow residents are having breakfast. The country is so massive that flying from one end to the other takes longer than crossing the Atlantic. Russia's geographic scale defies normal comprehension. Fact 47. The Netherlands shouldn't exist above water. About 26% of the Netherlands sits below sea level, with some areas dropping 22 feet beneath the ocean. Without the Dutch dike system and constant pumping, 2/3 of the country would flood immediately. The Dutch have been fighting the ocean for centuries just to exist. One pump failure could devastate millions of people overnight. Fact 46. Singapore grows larger every year. Singapore has expanded its land area by 25% since independence through land reclamation projects. The island nation adds territory by dumping sand and soil into the ocean, creating new land. Over 140 square kilometers have been reclaimed from the sea since 1960. Singapore literally builds itself bigger year by year, defying geographic limits. Fact 45. Lesotho is completely surrounded by one country. Lesotho is entirely landlocked within South Africa, making it one of 3 enclaved countries on Earth. Every border crossing leads to South Africa with no other neighbors. The kingdom sits high in the mountains, earning the nickname Kingdom in the Sky. It's a country trapped inside another country geographically with no escape. Fact 44. Mount Everest's summit is marine limestone. Mount Everest's peak contains limestone filled with marine fossils from ancient sea creatures. The world's tallest mountain was once at the bottom of the Tethys Sea 450 million years ago. Tectonic forces pushed ocean floor sediment 29,000 feet into the sky. Climbers literally stand on ancient seabed when they reach the summit. Fact 43. Vatican City could fit inside Disneyland. Vatican City covers 0.17 square miles, making it the world's smallest country by far. Disneyland in California spans 0.31 square miles, nearly twice Vatican City's entire size. The entire country could fit inside a mid-sized shopping mall with room to spare. Despite its size, it's a fully independent nation with its own laws and government. Fact 42. Libya is 99% desert. Libya's landscape is 99% desert, with the Sahara covering virtually the entire country. Only a thin coastal strip receives enough rainfall to support agriculture and major cities. The country is essentially one massive sand sea with a few settlements along the Mediterranean coast. It's one of the driest nations on the entire planet. Fact 41. Mongolia has the lowest population density on Earth. Mongolia averages just 5 people per square mile across its vast steppe territory. The country is larger than Alaska but has only 3.3 million people total. You could drive for hours without seeing another human being anywhere. It's emptiness on a scale most people can't comprehend or imagine. Fact 40. The Panama Canal connects 2 oceans but runs north-south. The Panama Canal connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans but actually runs southeast to northwest. The Pacific entrance sits east of the Atlantic entrance due to Panama's curved geographic shape. Geography here defies intuitive understanding completely. The canal that connects east and west actually runs north and south. Fact 39. The Netherlands has more bikes than people. The Netherlands contains approximately 23 million bicycles for a population of 17 million people. That's 1.3 bikes per person, making it the world's most bike-dense nation by far. Dutch infrastructure prioritizes cycling with dedicated lanes, traffic lights, and parking structures everywhere. Bikes outnumber people in the flattest country on Earth. Fact 38. Chile is the longest skinny country. Chile stretches 2,670 miles north to south, but averages only 110 miles wide. The country is 15 times longer than it is wide. You could fit Chile's length from Norway to Egypt. It's geographic absurdity that somehow functions as a unified nation successfully. Fact 37. Saudi Arabia has no rivers. Saudi Arabia is the largest country without a single permanent river anywhere. The entire nation relies on groundwater, desalination plants, and imported water. Ancient aquifers supply most water needs, but they're rapidly depleting. A country the size of Mexico with zero rivers whatsoever. Fact 36. Nepal has 8 of the world's 10 tallest mountains. Nepal and Tibet share the Himalayas, containing 8 peaks over 8,000 meters. Mount Everest, K2, Kanchenjunga, Lhotse, Makalu, Cho Oyu, Dhaulagiri, and Manaslu all tower in this region. The concentration of extreme altitude is unmatched anywhere on Earth. Nepal is literally the roof of the entire world. Fact 35. Vatican City has the highest crime rate per capita. With only 800 citizens, even minor crimes give Vatican City extreme per capita rates statistically. Pickpocketing tourists creates astronomical crime statistics. Most criminals are non-resident tourists stealing from other tourists. It's a statistical quirk from having fewer citizens than a small apartment building. Fact 34. Japan has more than 6,800 islands. Japan's archipelago includes 6,852 islands, though only 430 are inhabited permanently. The 4 main islands contain most population and land area. Thousands of smaller islands scatter across the Pacific, creating vast maritime territory. Japan is far more fragmented than most people realize initially. Fact 33. Bolivia has 2 capital cities. Bolivia splits governmental functions between La Paz, administrative capital, and Sucre, constitutional capital. The Supreme Court sits in Sucre while the President and Congress work in La Paz. It's a compromise that's lasted over a century. 1 country, 2 capitals, constant confusion for everyone. Fact 32. Norway's coastline is longer than Earth's circumference. Including all fjords and islands, Norway's coastline measures over 63,000 miles total. Earth's circumference at the equator is only 24,901 miles. Norway's intricate coastal geography creates seemingly impossible length. Its coastline on steroids, twisted and carved by ancient glaciers. Fact 31. The Andes are the longest mountain range. South America's Andes stretch 4,300 miles along the entire western coast. The range spans 7 countries from Venezuela to Chile. It's the longest continental mountain range on Earth by far. The Andes dwarf every other mountain system by total length. Fact 30. Madagascar split from Africa 165 million years ago. Madagascar separated from Africa during dinosaur times, creating unique evolutionary isolation. Over 90% of its wildlife exists nowhere else on Earth. Lemurs, fossas, and baobab trees evolved in complete isolation for millions of years. It's a living laboratory of evolution frozen in time. Fact 29. The Alps are still growing. The Alps continue growing as the African plate pushes into the Eurasian plate. The mountains rise approximately 1 millimeter per year from tectonic pressure. They've been growing for 35 million years and won't stop anytime soon. Europe's most iconic mountains are still under active construction. Fact 28. The Rhine River flows through 6 countries. The Rhine flows 764 miles through Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria, Germany, France, and the Netherlands. It's one of Europe's most important commercial waterways, carrying millions of tons of cargo annually. The river connects the Alps to the North Sea, creating vital economic arteries. Medieval castles line its banks, making it one of Europe's most scenic rivers. Fact 27. Tuvalu will disappear from rising seas. The Pacific Island nation. Tuvalu sits barely 15 feet above sea level at its highest point. Rising oceans will completely submerge it within decades. The country is already negotiating mass migration plans with Australia. An entire culture faces extinction from climate change. Fact 26. China touches 14 countries. China shares borders with 14 different nations, more than any country except Russia. The borders span from North Korea to Afghanistan to India. Managing 14 international boundaries creates endless diplomatic complexity. China's geographic position makes it unavoidably central to Asian geopolitics. Fact 25. The Danube River flows through 10 countries. The Danube flows 1,770 miles through Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova, and Ukraine. No other river crosses as many countries. It's Europe's ultimate international waterway connecting vastly different cultures. The Danube defines European interconnectedness perfectly. Fact 24. The Sahara grows larger every year. The Sahara Desert expands approximately 30 miles southward annually through desertification. Climate change and overgrazing accelerate the process dramatically. The desert has grown 10% since 1920. Africa's greatest desert keeps swallowing more land continuously. Fact 23. Australia has the world's longest fence. The Dingo Fence stretches 3,488 miles across Australia, protecting sheep from wild dogs. It's longer than the Great Wall of China. The fence requires constant maintenance, employing hundreds of workers year-round. Australia built the world's longest structure to keep out dingoes. Fact 22. There are underwater waterfalls in the ocean. Underwater waterfalls occur where dense cold water plunges over ocean cliffs. The Denmark Strait Cataract between Greenland and Iceland drops 11,500 feet. These underwater cascades dwarf any terrestrial waterfall. The ocean has waterfalls bigger than anything on land. Fact 21. Bhutan measures gross national happiness. Bhutan officially measures gross national happiness instead of GDP as its primary success metric. The Buddhist kingdom prioritizes citizen well-being over economic growth. Environmental protection, cultural preservation, and spiritual development matter more than money. It's the only country where happiness is official government policy. Fact 20. Canada has more lakes than the rest of the world, combined. Canada contains over 60% of the world's lakes, with approximately 3 million lakes larger than 3 acres. That's more lakes than every other country combined. Ontario alone has 250,000 lakes. Canada is essentially a nation floating on fresh water. Fact 19. The Great Barrier Reef is visible from space. Australia's Great Barrier Reef stretches over 1,400 miles and can be seen from orbit. It's the largest living structure on Earth, built by billions of coral polyps. The reef contains more biodiversity than any other marine ecosystem. It's so massive, astronauts photograph it regularly from the International Space Station. Fact 18. The Congo River is the world's deepest. The Congo River plunges over 720 feet deep in places, deeper than any other river. Its depth exceeds the height of many skyscrapers measured underwater. The river contains massive cataracts and rapids throughout its length. It's an aquatic canyon cutting through Central Africa. Fact 17. The Maldives will disappear underwater. The Maldives' highest natural point sits just 8 feet above sea level. Rising oceans threaten to completely submerge the island nation within this century. The government purchased land in other countries, planning for total evacuation. An entire nation faces geographic extinction from climate change. Fact 16. The Aral Sea has almost completely dried up. Once the world's 4th largest lake, the Aral Sea has lost 90% of its volume since 1960. Soviet irrigation projects diverted the rivers feeding it, causing ecological catastrophe. Rusted ships sit in deserts that were once lake bottom. It's one of history's worst man-made environmental disasters. Fact 15. The Pacific Ocean is larger than all land on Earth. The Pacific Ocean covers 63 million square miles, more than all continents combined. You could fit every landmass on Earth into the Pacific with room to spare. It contains more water than the Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic oceans together. The Pacific truly dominates our planet's surface area. Fact 14. Salar de Uyuni creates perfect mirror reflections. Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat covering 4,000 square miles. During rainy season, thin water layers create perfect mirror reflections of the sky. The flat contains 10 billion tons of salt and half the world's lithium reserves. It's one of Earth's most surreal landscapes visible from space. Fact 13. Angel Falls is 15 times taller than Niagara. Venezuela's Angel Falls drops 3,212 feet, making it the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall. Waterfalls so far it turns to mist before reaching the bottom. The falls are 15 times taller than Niagara Falls. It's named after American pilot Jimmy Angel, who crash-landed on top in 1933. Fact 12. Mount Fuji last erupted in 1707. Japan's iconic Mount Fuji hasn't erupted since 1707 during the Edo period, covering Tokyo in volcanic ash. The volcano remains active and could erupt again at any time, threatening millions. Over 300,000 people climb Fuji annually during the official climbing season. It's Japan's tallest peak at 12,389 feet and a sacred site in Japanese culture. Fact 11. Socotra Island looks like another planet. Yemen's Socotra Island hosts plants found nowhere else, creating an alien landscape. Dragon's blood trees with umbrella-shaped crowns dominate the terrain. Over one-third of plant species exist only on this isolated island. It's the most alien-looking place on Earth without leaving the planet. Fact 10. Lake Hillier is bright bubblegum-pink. Australia's Lake Hillier on Middle Island maintains a bright pink color year-round. Scientists believe algae and bacteria create the distinctive bubblegum hue. The pink remains vivid even when water is removed in containers. It's one of nature's most bizarre color schemes. Fact 9. The Amazon rainforest produces 6% of Earth's oxygen. The Amazon generates approximately 6% of the world's oxygen through photosynthesis, despite common myths claiming 20%. The rainforest spans 2.1 million square miles across 9 South American countries. It contains more plant and animal species than any other terrestrial ecosystem. The Amazon holds 10% of all species on the planet. Fact 8. Tristan da Cunha is the world's most remote island. This British territory sits 1,500 miles from the nearest inhabited land. The 250 residents live on an active volcano in the South Atlantic. It takes 6 days by boat to reach the nearest civilization. It's humanity's most isolated permanent settlement. Fact 7. The Strait of Gibraltar was once dry land. The Mediterranean Sea completely dried up 5.6 million years ago during the Messinian salinity crisis. For 700,000 years, the strait was a land bridge connecting Europe and Africa. When Atlantic waters broke through, the Mediterranean refilled in a catastrophic flood. It's one of the largest flooding events in Earth's history. Fact 6. Mount Roraima inspired the Lost World. This flat-topped mountain on the Venezuela-Brazil-Guyana border rises 9,000 feet. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle used it as inspiration for his novel, The Lost World. The plateau contains unique species found nowhere else on Earth. Waterfalls cascade off sheer cliffs, creating perpetual mist. Fact 5. Blood falls in Antarctica runs red. Antarctica's blood falls pours iron-rich water, creating blood-red cascades against white ice. The water comes from a subglacial lake sealed for 2 million years. Microbes survive in complete darkness in extremely salty water. It looks like the glacier is bleeding continuously. Fact 4. The wave in Arizona exists without rain. Arizona's sandstone formation, the wave, shows flowing patterns carved by ancient wind and water. Only 20 people per day receive permits to visit this fragile formation. The undulating rock looks like frozen waves of stone. It formed over 190 million years ago during the Jurassic period. Fact 3. Fingal's Cave has natural hexagonal columns. Scotland's Fingal's Cave features perfectly hexagonal basalt columns forming natural cathedral-like structures. The columns formed from cooling lava, creating geometric perfection. The cave's acoustics inspired Mendelssohn's Hebrides Overture. Nature accidentally created architectural precision. Fact 2. The Giant's Causeway contains 40,000 hexagonal columns. Northern Ireland's Giant's Causeway displays 40,000 interlocking basalt columns. Ancient lava flows created perfectly hexagonal stepping stones into the sea. Legend claims giants built it as a bridge to Scotland. It's geological accident that looks deliberately designed. Fact 1. Antarctica has 300 lakes hidden under ice. Scientists have discovered over 300 subglacial lakes beneath Antarctica's ice sheets. Lake Vostok alone sits under 2.5 miles of ice and has been sealed for 15 million years. These lakes may contain unique life forms never exposed to Earth's atmosphere. Entire ecosystems exist in permanent darkness under the ice. Your textbooks barely scratch the surface. Which fact shocked you most? Drop it in the comments below. Subscribe for more geography facts that'll completely change how you see the world.